of Baboons and Rhesus monkeys. It was Friday evening in July, just after a summer shower. The sun was sinking low. My thoughts were on the past week. Hi, my name is Joe Rosinsky. I'm a detective. It's been a slow week, so I thought I'd go out on the town to detect something. I was just about to give up when my cell phone buzzed. It was a girl in trouble. It's always a girl in trouble. What the hell else? It was Friday. Hello? I said in a low professional tone. Hello, said the voice on the other end in a low sexy tone. My name is Clara Barnstormer, and I need your help. Okay, doll, I said. What's the trouble? It's my boyfriend, she said, close to tears. He's the zookeeper. I cut her off. He's the what? Listen, lady, if this is some kind of a joke... I couldn't believe my eyes. Suddenly, I saw a maniac driving an old Ford pickup with a baboon and a rhesus monkey in the back speeding recklessly down Fifth Avenue. Does your boyfriend drive a '67 Ford pickup? How did you know? I'm a detective, I told her with confidence. Where are you? She told me she was on 5th and Pine. So am I told her. I looked over my left shoulder. There she stood with her cell pushed against her ear. She's beautiful, and she'd been crying, noted by running mascara. She's beautiful. I took her by the arm and walked her into Ed's cafe. We were sitting in a booth waiting for our order when I asked, What's with your boyfriend and these monkeys? Well, it's only the one rhesus monkey, but it's mostly about a baboon and the chimp. Start at the beginning. Well, he's been a zookeeper for 20 years and he doesn't have very many friends. His best friend was Gonzo the chimp. What do you mean was? I interrogated. I mean, they used to play cards every day, poker and 21. About a month ago, Jack started acting like a crazed animal. Zookeeper, crazed animal, I mumbled. Oh, Nick, why can't I just get a decent guy like you? Heh, I chuckled to myself. You can. She looked surprised. Really? Yeah, but my name's Joe Rosinsky. This guy Jack sounds like a nutcase. Therefore, I say you dump him and hang with me a while. I can't leave just like that. I have to break it to him, Nick. Joe, I said. Joe, she said. We finished our sandwiches and went out to my silver 2008 Jaguar convertible. This is my favorite car, she said. In a few moments, we zoomed onto Fifth Avenue. We made about a block when the '67 Ford pickup whipped out in front of me. It ran a stop sign on Rhesus Street, and I raced to catch up. We were making 110 miles an hour. What's he running in that thing? It's a baboon and a rhesus monkey. I meant the engine. Oh, it's gas, I think. Jack pounded on the roof of the truck, yelling while the baboon pestered the monkey. This went on for about a block. The truck came to a screeching halt at a red light. The rhesus monkey jumped from the truck into my car. She climbed on my left shoulder. She glared at the baboon. Just what I need, I said, a monkey on my back. I followed him to Gibbon Street where he turned into the parking lot of the Congo Club. He got out of the truck. I told you to stop pestering that poor rhesus monkey, he said. I got out of the car and handed the monkey to Clara. What's with you? Got a chip on your shoulder? I looked at my left shoulder. No, it's a monkey turd. Jack snarled. Monkey turd, chip, what's the difference? What are you doing with my girl and chasing me like a bat out of hell? He asked a string of questions. I'm a private detective. Clara hired me to find out what happened to you and the chimp. He snarled again. That chimp was the only friend I had. I played cards with him every day, and we played pool at the Congo Club every Friday. Sounds like you two had a good thing happening there. Jack looked down at the ground sadly. We did until I caught him cheating at poker. A cheating chimp, huh? Yeah, but then I tried to befriend this baboon. That isn't working. I tried playing cards. He crumpled them up and threw them at me. I tried to play pool. He threw the stick like a spear. I tried taking him for rides, but he wanted to drive. I put him in the back with the rhesus monkey to keep him company. He keeps pestering the poor thing. I think you need to resolve this thing with Gonzo. I'm sure he misses you. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Oh, and by the way, Clara and I are going to hang out for a while if you don't mind. Hell, I don't care. She takes off with some other guy every July. She'll stay with him for a few months, then she comes crawling back to me. I'm not one for long term anyway. Well then, she's all yours, but there's something you should know. She calls all of her side guys Nick. Yeah, what is it with that? I don't know. Some fantasy lover, I guess. Clara, you go and have a good time with your private dick. I'll see you around September. He got back into his truck. I'm going to play pool with an old friend. It was dark, but the moon was full. I looked at Clara in the moonlight. She's not a bad looker, I thought. This is going to be a good summer, and there's a chance I can keep this going till September. Let's go to a movie, she said. They're showing Planet of the Apes at the Safari Drive-In. I think we will, I said. Of Baboons and Space Monkeys. Hello, my name is Joe Rosensky. Remember me? A few months ago I met a girl, Clara Barnstormer. She moved in with me with her rhesus monkey, Jasmine. She's going back to Jack the zookeeper. We walked out the front door and a bright light appeared in the sky. Jasmine was frantic. She jumped on Clara's shoulder. It's all right, Clara said. It's only a weird light in the sky. A bright red beam bolted from the light. Clara and the rhesus vanished. Stunned, I continued out to my silver Jaguar to chase the light. Dark rain clouds appeared. Rain began to pour. Lightning struck the light. It hovered over the road. I screeched to a halt. I looked up at the light. A red beam zapped my car and me. The road and scenery vanished. A metal corridor with many cells appeared. I got out of my car and I walked through the corridor. Jasmine appeared from nowhere screeching. She was chased by what looked like rhesus monkeys with antennae on their heads. Jasmine jumped into my arms, glaring at the other monkeys. They stopped and stared at me with idle curiosity. It's okay, Jasmine. They won't hurt you. Bring me to Clara. She hurried through the corridor and turned into one of the cells. I followed her to find a baboon with an antennae on his head sitting at a desk in a business suit. Hello, Mr. Rosensky. Have a seat, he said, pointing to a swivel chair. I walked over and sat down. I suppose you're wondering why I brought you here. Of course. It's about the human female. Clara. Yes, what about her? Well, you see, I picked her up with the rhesus monkey an Earth week ago and... Hold it. You picked me up 10 minutes later. Not really. We've been traveling in a time warp. It will be easier if Clara was here. Clara walked in through a side door. She sat on the creature's lap. You see, she said. Nick, I have decided... The creature interrupted. My name is Ip Bleel Sortnappen. Okay, Iplip. Nick, and I have decided to travel the galaxies together. Huh? I said, confused. You mean you and this baboo? But Joe, she said. He's evolved, and he's been places. Ip Bleel Sortnappen interrupted. Clara, your friend, and I have business to discuss. Clara got up, waving femininely at Joe. Okay, Mr. Nick. What business? It's not what you're thinking. I can read your mind. This is a telepathic antennae on my head. Clara and I have a business arrangement. Well, what kind of business are you in, Mr. Kibla? I transport many species of animals to my home planet, Triskalia. Clara is familiar with Earth animals. She's logically a good partner, but there's a problem. What problem is that? Well, she drives me crazy, Iblil Sortnappen said. I had a sardonic smile on my face. Heh. She thinks one thing, and she does another. I don't know what she'll do next. Well, she's a woman. Men have been perplexed over women since we were Neanderthals. What should I do? He looked desperate. Well, there is one thing, but you'll have to send Clara, me, and the monkey back to Earth. He scratched the antennae on his head. So if I release you, you'll persuade Jack to trade Earth animals. I have read the name Jack from Clara's mind. Her thoughts are so scrambled when it comes to him. That figures. I'll need to contact him. How do I? Before I finished speaking, Iplil Sortnoppen handed me something that looked like a cell phone. This is designed after one of your Earth communication devices. Just dial 9, and his image will appear on the screen to my left. He pointed to the screen. I looked up to the screen and dialed 9. The screen flickered, and Jack's red face appeared. He was pounding on a table, shouting, "I told you to stop cheating!" A wide-eyed chimpanzee, puffing a cigar, folded his cards, tossed them on the table, and left. "Jack," I said. "Huh?" Jack was confused. "Jack, it's me, Joe." "Joe? Where the hell have you been? You were supposed to have Clara here a week ago." "We were abducted by aliens and," Jack interrupted. "It figures. That broad is always tangled in something. So what do you want me to do?" "Well, I've worked a deal with the aliens. They will release us if we can get you to trade some Earth animals." Jack scratched his head. "Well, there's a boatload of baboons I'd like to get rid of." Iplil Sortnoppen said. "With that, we can study our primordial past." "Okay, make it snappy. I don't have all the time in the universe," he said as his doorbell rang. "Now, get Clara back here right away. I gotta go. There's somebody at my door." The image flickered out. "Well, how soon can we go?" "Oh, right away. For us, the deal has already transpired. I saw some baboons chasing some monkeys in the corridor." "Come on, let's go," Iplil Sortnoppen said. "Jack is the kind of man who doesn't like to be kept waiting." Clara and Jasmine were waiting by my car. "Okay, drive through the warp field at the end of the corridor." I started my car and drove through the colored wavy lines. We zoomed down 5th Avenue. We pulled into Jack's driveway. I rang the bell and rang it again. We heard Jack through the door. "Keep your shirt on, I'm coming." He opened the door with a surprised look. "Hey, I talked to you just a moment ago. How could you be walking through the air and ringing my doorbell at the same time?" "It's a long story," I said. I said goodbye to everyone and walked back to my car. I drove off with the radio playing. "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood" by Eric Burdon and the Animals. It figures, I thought.